So I'm gonna do a little video to show you how I make memes, especially the ones where you Photoshop images. But I typically don't use Photoshop that much. I use another app called LightX. So I'm just gonna meme myself because, well, there I've done Perry, Belgrade, and Trudeau. If you want to see how I did that, here, let me just. So what I usually do is I usually go and I find them online somewhere. So then I find either the videos or the images. So I find the image. Once I find the image, I screen capture it. So on an Android phone, you do that by pressing power and your volume down button. So once you screen capture, Android should prompt you to crop it. So crop it like that. So then save it. And then what I did was for Trudeau, so I'll just go to find Trudeau here, find Trudeau, find the image of his face where it's memeing. This one. So this picture here, screen capture, crop it. So now that they're both cropped, so then I go back to my home screen, open up LightX. So now I have LightX here. It'll tell me, Android will tell you that there's a new picture here. So screenshots, pick one of these. So pick Trudeau. Then down at the bottom of the left hand or the right hand side, you see this little drawy thing here. So hit that little draw thing. Well, what you want to do is you want to blend two images. So basically you want to hit this little blend button here. So once you have the blend, it'll prompt you to add a button. So hit the little plus sign. Once you hit the plus sign, it'll give you a bunch of ones that are sort of stored in its cache. But if you want to find which one, actually here, I have one right here. So this is stored in the cache. So now I have basically two images, one image layered on top of another image. Now what I want to do is I want to be able to just sort of pull it in close, similar, not exactly the same, but similar. Now I want to hit at the bottom right hand, hit blend again, turn this all the way up. See how when you move this little prompt, it goes up. So I want to be able to go all the way like this way. Go back to the tools, go to, so there's a couple buttons here. So one of them is brush. So brush will brush on. Erase will erase the top layer and reveal the bottom layer. Now if you hold on to it, you can adjust here. You can adjust the thickness of the brush. So if you want to get real fine, and I'll show you eventually we need to get real fine. So you can do that for both. When you do one, so when you do one for the brush, automatically whatever size you change will automatically be the size for the erase as well. Now there's two little options here. There's magic brush and there's magic erase. Magic erase will sort of recognize the other image, and just as long as you don't go too close to it, it should keep it. So you can just kind of very quickly go like this, right? So, but I want to blend these two images together. So now I got to go to erase, and I can actually just make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to erase some of this here. Don't go too close to his face. Now there's a little cross here. So this little, if you hit this little cross, it'll allow you to move the image around like that. And then there's a zoom button. So if you're on the left hand side, so now with your fingers, if you know how to zoom in on your phone, it's the same function. Now I can zoom in closer. Now I'll get in here with my little erase. See, now the brush is big. Let's make it small down here. So the erase, and now we can just come across, and I'm starting to erase some of his things here at the bottom. This particular app doesn't have a feather feature, which is kind of unfortunate, but the Adobe Photoshop app has the feather feature, but they don't have a whole lot of other features that LightX has. And I actually paid some money for LightX. I think I paid like $5 or $6, you know, for me, $5 or $6 is you know, it's a cup of coffee or 2 cups of coffee or something. Or if you make a mistake, then you can just hit. So let's just say I did something here. Let's just say here, erase. Oops, you know, there's something there. There's a, at the bottom here, there's a little backwards button. Okay, so now I got two faces on top of each other. If I want to hit the little cross button and zoom, oops, sorry, not that cross button, the zoom button. Now zoom back out so I can see the entire thing. Now if I wanted to just put a Perry's head on there, you know, then that's it. Then I can just click save, hit the little check mark at the bottom, it'll ask me to save, and then that's it. But if you want to be a little bit more artistic, so then let's go back to the blend button here. Let's just see where his faces are lined up here. Hit the little cross button to move the image around. And what I try to generally do is try to line up the eyes like that. Hit the little, to lock it again, blend button up. Here, let's zoom in. So we'll go back to tools. Let's go back into zoom. Hit erase. And now we can, erase, bring the brush down a little bit. Now we can just start by erasing some of his hair. Get rid of that double chin right there. Perry, you gotta lose some weight. Or Justin Trudeau, you gotta gain some weight. So now we can put Perry's face right on. But one of the things I like to make fun of is I like to say that all politicians are the same. So I like to superimpose one face on top of the other one. Hit the little adjust button, the little cross button, so that you can move the picture around again. That way when you get to it, you can size it so that their mouth and that their noses line up. It takes a little bit of practice to get there, but... And once it looks... I mean, obviously people's faces are not going to symmetrically line up because everybody has different shapes and bodies and whatever, but you can get them kind of close, which is then lock it again. So hit the little square button, go back to the erase button. I'm just going to erase up some of where his forehead is right there, and then I have it. Okay, so basically, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this, what am I going to do? I'm going to zoom out, make sure that there's no, sometimes on the outside you might need to erase some of the other image, the one layer on top of the other. Now if they have different skin color, so what I might do is first of all hit this little check mark and it'll say that's okay. So I'm just going to save it just in case, you know, I make a mistake and I want to go back to it. Hit this little pencil mark at the bottom. You have all these different options here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the splash button. Their color right here is not too far off. They have almost similar, but as soon as I start drawing, I'm going to draw on one side of the face. It should automatically highlight it, but it highlighted too much, so I need to erase some. So I'm going to erase a little bit here. So actually here, let me just erase all this again. Let me go ahead with magic brush, and there we go. And just let it automatically fill out. So I'm gonna go like this. Go back to erase, just clean up some of this. Oops. Now once I have this like this, I'm gonna hit the effects tab. Now it's gonna show me all these different things here. If I go to right on the left hand side and I grab it, it should move it around, so I can go to shades and see tone seem to change something here. So I can change up and down his tone, move some of these things around a little bit to give Perry a little bit a lighter look. And then there we go. That looks, it's passable. I mean, I'm not going to go into a half an hour trying to find the exact color matches here. So now I'm just going to hit the check mark button. Now what I normally do from here is I normally screen capture this shot right here. So I'm going to just move this little thing here at the bottom and screen capture this one. Because in that way, when I go into another app that I use for memeing, I use 2 or 3 different apps. So I use either I use Pixart or Pixlr. Sometimes I use these other ones, but not very like if you want to go into this meme generator, you know, they have their own memes here. They have pictures. I think somewhere you can choose your own pictures, choose from gallery, and then I can upload this picture that I just made. But anyways, I don't normally use that one. I usually use Pixlr. Pixlr has less options as PixArt, but PixArt is just so loaded with ads. Anyway, so at the bottom left hand side, there's like a little suitcase here. Hit that little suitcase, go to the very top left, hit crop, pull the edges out, like, oops, pull it out, make it bigger, and now you have, you know, with these little black boxes at the bottom. Now type anything here. Just say Paul. Oops. Just this little. Move this out of the way here. Paul. Politicians are one in the same. Next. Now, these little ones here, see how the text is? You can put it here, you can put it anywhere. I like to use the top right here. This little function changes how the appearance of the lettering is going to be. Grab it, you can make it bigger, smaller, using 2 fingers, just like the pinch button. And once you have it there, you can write whatever you want. You can even add some, you know, if you wanted to add some of these things to it. You know, I don't normally use any of these types of things, but whatever, they're there for you if you want to use those things. And no, cancel that. So now that I have this done, let me just save that, save the image. Yes, okay. Go back to your gallery, look into the gallery. There should be a new function somewhere. Oh, there we go. Pixlr made a new picture. There it is. So now it's done. So now you just hit a little share button, and the share button should prompt you. Hit Facebook. How to make memes. How to make memes. Video to follow. Video to follow. There. Share. Boom. It's all done. So now, since I'm done this, I'm basically just going to end this.